because I want to bring you guys over here to this. So this is from Sailor Duck. And apparently Sailor Duck, you can even see it here in his bio, says, I run various image boards, CEO of the Gooner. He's apparently the CEO and leader of Rule 34. Sorry, I had to take a swig of water. Okay, I had to take a swig of water. And this is revolving around a VTuber named Saruei. Actually, I should not go over straight to her Twitter account because she posts fun time images. Very, very good images. I'm not going to lie there. Thank God, chat, to hear that. But yes, she posts a lot of images like that. That's the kind of content she does. She's also pretty based. Gotta be here, fair. She's based. She says shit that I like. She posts shit I like. I mean, what am I going to do? But Sailor Duck here brings this up. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in to read this. Continuing with censorship talk, this might just be a minor inconvenience, but I have had Cam Model Protect send over 15 fraudulent DMCAs in the name of Saruei, targeting fan work on Rule 34 and many other sites. When I went to Saruei's Discord to see if we could put a stop to this, I was told by a mod that these DMCAs are legitimate. I then proceeded to contact 10 artists who made fan work, and none said they were paid by or commissioned by Saruei. Okay? So out the gate right now, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. Okay? The reason why I am trying to point this out is because, you know what? We're gonna come back to this. We're gonna keep going forward. Because yeah, it doesn't sound good right now. Filing fraudulent DMCAs for fan art people made for you is not only incredibly disrespectful, but also flat out illegal. The copyright of fan art stays with the artists unless you paid for it. In Saruei's defense, there were a couple of images made by Saruei themselves and were deleted we deleted them instantly when the complaint came in. But the notice for the fan art just don't stop. Now, before we go too far, and again, I have a bot over on Twitch that I'm about to yeet. Because obviously I don't have a mod on Twitch because nobody's on Twitch, but Saruei, and I'm probably butchering your name if you're watching this, she does tons of not safe for work stuff. She also does Fansly and Patreon content. So some of the imagery that is coming across is her actual paid wall content that she is DMCAing. I want that to be there because there's some multiple layers to this that I'm still not being able to figure out what is actually happening. I think I have a logical guess as to what is happening when I look over this whole situation, but I'm going to save that more towards the end right now because I think it's a little bit simpler than people think, and it's a failure of communication. But I effing love VTubers, so I promote a whole bunch of them on my front page and even printed them for my wall. I have never seen a VTuber be so hostile against their own fans slash artists. This has been going on for a year now. Please stop this. And you can see this here. There is a bunch of evidence though that Sailor Ducky, and again, I'm being very careful not to go over to his thing because I have to play very, very close with the TOS. He gets into a lot of people's DMs and tries to add a lot of people, so it does kind of look like he is trying to push some stuff. And again, there's a lot of links. Like, just look at how many people he keeps adding here. But we have more of this. There were some questions and false community note leading to a post with no evidence. Allow me to clear things up. First of all, Saruei's tweet based on the linked image is a single paid post that was posted a day after this tweet was made. Single paid post. And has already been deleted. It's against our terms of service to upload paid content such as Fanbox, Patreon, Fansly, etc. However, they claim ownership and want to take down all fan work. This is one of the examples DMCA targeting all her fan work. The only reason those posts remain is because we choose to lose our safe harbor by not accepting the DMCA. And again, I'm not clicking that for obvious reasons. DMCA needs to be checked before being sent. There's no excuse for targeting fan work. We have received copies of this DMCA 15 times since the beginning of 2024. We have sent over 11 emails in an attempt to get this resolved and were ignored. That's also why, after a year of abuse, this notice was put up. Some of the artists I contacted to ask if they are okay with their content being on R34. None of them were paid or commissioned. And here's a bunch of the artists. By the way, one of them, I don't know if this person unadded themselves or if this at just doesn't work, but obviously this one is not going to send right to the thing. Maybe he typed it out wrong. I don't know, but that's something to actually look at. The attached image is a conversation I had with a mod. Their argument is that they have the right to submit DMCAs for the entirety of Saruei's tag because the artists themselves did not upload it. None of this makes sense considering they have no copyright over those images and are therefore knowingly submitting fraudulent DMCAs. If Cam Model Protect stops submitting DMCAs for fan work, the message will be removed. We will, of course, always delete any paid content. Our turnaround for DMCAs is 24 hours. You can stop messaging me with slurs now. Thanks. Well, you doing that makes me just want to do it more. No, I have not actually done that, by the way. I'm just making a joke there. But we have this, obviously, the image here. And give me a moment. I'm going to try to make this bigger just so I can read it as well. All right, well, you can tell that if there is any premium content, we are absolutely willing to take it down with an email to the DMCA, whatever. But this whole takedown for all fan art isn't right. That's why I went out of my way to ask about it. I normally don't get involved in takedowns myself. So the takedown is legitimate. The issue is that all of them are unauthorized re-uploads. Some as this one, I'm not able to see that, and Saruei's own work and Saruei's own work. Others, such as, well, I can't really see those are again links, and this one are commissions. The fan art are also reposts. If you can verify that uploader is also the artist, then there is of course no issue. However, as far as I can see, most of them are labeled as being posted by bot. Actually, that's true, because I saw some people arguing this. I think there's two different arguments going on here at once. Obviously, they're taking down a bunch of fan art right now and stuff like that. But if you actually take a look at how this is being worded, this feels more like they're differentiating between the two situations here. One is obviously Saruei's paid artwork, her own art, things that she has done. That is obviously getting DMCA'd. But it really does sound like, yes, fan art is being wrapped up in this as well, but the fan art was not uploaded by the original artist and is being uploaded by other people. So yeah, that stuff isn't protected anymore. The artist has the right over that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that they should be DMCA'd. The artist should be doing the DMCAing. But I'm just saying that could be the reason they're getting caught up in this. And again, I'll explain my overall thoughts on this a whole lot later, because I don't really think this means what you think it means. We've also previously had issues with Fansly Patreon, and Saruei's dojins have been uploaded multiple times. For further, please contact the DMCA team, as they are the main contact point for this, not Saruei or the mod team. That I will say is that it's not right to take and re-upload other people's work, and if more Saruei content is uploaded, it will be DMCA'd. Again, if I'm going to be honest here, as much as I don't like the abuse of a DMCA claim, it feels like there's another team doing this all together, and instead of addressing that team here, you're trying to go to the mods, who the mods saying, we're not in charge of this, we have a DMCA group here, and you're not even going there. I see these are made by Saruei, right? Yes, those are Saruei's artwork. One is her real from her 1.0 model. And we come back here, he has another one right here. Some may not want to go to R34 to view the DMCA exemplars, so I have put one in a Google Docie. If there is any doubt whatsoever, this has Saruei full legal name I censored on top of the document. And again, I have to be very, very, very freaking careful with anything I click right here, because I'm obviously on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick right now. I clicked the wrong thing here, it's gonna be over. Can you start over and act like you're explaining this to Hank Hill? Excuse me. Okay, so there's a VTuber who's a virtual avatar. Okay, somebody who's trying to go around looking like an anime girl who does not safe for work content, which means naughty no content. The content that our good buddy Cloud loves. She is copywriting Rule 34, which is a naughty no website, because they keep uploading images of her from her Patreon and Fansly. DMCA is essentially copyright takedowns because she has the right to those copyrights. That is the breakdown of the situation, but it keeps going on because you heard him talk about a thing. Yeah, I can at least show this one, even though it's risky. A Rule 34 user/mod claims I file fraudulent DMCAs, yet many are works I commissioned for my own Fansly animations. They host my content under a Fansly category while calling me my takedowns fraudulent, even though AI slops are fan arts from artists I haven't worked with remain. So there's that other piece here. It's taking down very specific artwork. It's not taking down all the artwork. It's taking down very specific artwork. Some artwork still is staying up, but you still got that Fansly category. That would mean the things that she's taking down is hers. So let's say all this art's being tagged under Fansly there. Yeah. If she's going through a third party, they would think that that's hers and they would DMCA it. That makes sense. And again, for the Hank Hills of the world, that means she's taking down her own content that has been tagged as her own content. Again, pretty self-explanatory there. But following this, we also have this. Hello, glad this finally got some traction because he responded to this. I posted my clarification here. If it wasn't your intended that the company you hired is supposed to nuke all fan content, then there must be a miscommunication with you and the mod team, which I'll just come out and say it. I think that's what's going on here, because she hired a third-party content creation here, and you're blaming her for it all when you even admit at the beginning she hired a third-party group, Cam Model Protect. I think that's what's going on here, and I think we're starting to deduce why this images are being taken down. More likely than not, they're being taken down because they're being tagged with Fansly, Patreon, things like that. It's being confused as her own artwork, and they're taking it down because she paid them to do so. If there's a miscommunication, then yeah, she needs to talk to them, but we don't have any proof of that yet. And we can, I need to be super freaking careful, but we also have this from Slayer, and yes, he freaking responded to one of my favorite V-tweeters in the entire world, which again, for the Hank Hills of the world, I'll just say it like this. Imagine Dale, but 100 times worse, and only talk about VTubers the entire time. Yeah, that's a V-tweeter. I think that could pretty much make sense there. But we have this. There is no winning here. She's currently live lying about the situation, claiming artists don't want to take down anything on Rule 34 because of privacy issues. Meanwhile, users in her chat are advocating DDoSing R34. I'll just delete all the fan art later. I don't have any evidence of this. I do have this clip here. I know it's 8 seconds long. There's a much longer clip somewhere. Actually here, let me go hunt down that longer clip real quick. Let me hunt down that longer clip, because she actually deletes like all of her VODs and stuff. She doesn't re-upload them. So give me a second. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find this. And I have to be, again, I have to be super freaking careful on all this. That's the 8-second one. This isn't the same one. Let me see. Saruei. I don't know if I have it. Let me double check. Saruei. I hate her. I hate her name. I hate her name for all the logical reasons as to why I hate her name. It's because it's so fucking Euro, because she's French. Let me see if it's you. Gallery Lib. She is so freaking French, it's insane. I don't know if I can find it. I might be able to play. Yeah, that's not it. So I do have Rima's video here on the situation, because she has the clip. I don't know where it is, and I cut over to where the clip begins. Again, go check out Rima Everstar. She has the clip. I agree a lot with what Rima says here. There's a lot of frickin' French here. By the way, if we actually go back over to the dude's even thing where he's saying, hey, she's advocating for DDoSing or anything, I'm not seeing it.
I only reported like content that I own. I didn't report anything else. There's still like plenty of fucking fan arts in there, like in a website.
I don't see where anybody's advocating for DDoSing. I'm not even seeing anything like that. So you're saying that she's doing this, but I don't see it. But again, we have it here from Rima. We'll get through this. This is gonna be a long one just because of Rima's pausing. I love Rima. I just wanted the clip, but I don't know where to get it. So we have this.
34 situation got sorted, or what's up with that? Bro, I have no fucking idea.
100%. When she was talking about it, 0 people talked about DDoSing. I rechecked. The guy might be a little schizo.
I think he's schizo. Again, I'm sorry for having to play Rima's video. I love Rima, don't get me wrong. I just wanted the clip myself, but I think he's super schizo. Again, he's interacting with some of the schizoists of schizo V-tweeters.
not the first time he like tags VTubers and posts like that.
I told everyone, I only take down the fancy content and commission I fucking own. I haven't took down anything. Where would I go after?
Listen, I'm not gonna... This is an ongoing story. It's a developing story. I'm not gonna pick a hard side because both of them are saying things that are contrary to the others. And both of them are like really confident in what they're saying. And you can tell after you watch this clip, I feel like, I don't know, it's a little bit more convincing when it comes out of her, straight out of her mouth. So,
to be fair, I agree with Rima there. Call simp. What I will also say is, like, it's a developing story. There's a lot going on here. When you're engaging with certain V-tweeters instead of, you know, trying to go out there and prove your point, and I've seen your Google Docky, again, I have to be very careful at anything I fucking bring up. Your Google Docky doesn't really show anything. Like, I have the Google Doc. I could bring it up here.
so I don't know what the...
Oh, sorry about that. I can bring it up here in a bit over on Google Chrome. A lot of his evidence is really like tightly cropped. So I don't know what's being said at all. I'm just getting responses and it looks weird. It looks really weird, man.
What the fuck's going on? If there's a miscommunication or something, hopefully they can talk it out.
That I don't own. Then that would mean I would also go against, like, you know, every single fan art on Twitter or on Pixiv or on DeviantArt. Oh yeah, we can talk about that. But I mean,
that's true. What you just said there, going against every single fan art on Twitter, DeviantArt, and all that, there's no evidence of that. It's just Rule 34. So what's going on there? Why is Rule 34 the only thing that's being singled out here? She's not going out anywhere else. So there's something specifically going on at Rule 34. Nowhere else. So that's something we should be taking into account, but I don't know why people don't want to do that.
there's nothing to tell. It's a piracy website, like, you know, trying to, I don't know, teach me something.
Oh, it's just that she doesn't save the VODs from her stream, okay? It's not that she hid it. I see.
They have a whole ass category named Fansly and Patreon. Now,
I have to laugh. She is so fucking French. She is so fucking French. There's a whole ass category called Fansly and Patreon. Just the way she says that is fucking French.
it's not just me in this story here. Come on, dude. Be smarter than that. They do. They literally, yeah. You know how they have tags like, you know, girl, MILF, teen,
MILF.
ass. You have a category that is pattern and fancy. You just click
I love how she says words. I love how she says words. It's so funny.
on there. Bitch is saying, I love VTubers. This is the whole last category of fancy people, VTuber people from that platform that have their leaked content there.
Dude, her accent is so hot though. Like, okay.
Rima, I love you. Shush. Shush. I don't want to listen to you talk about her accent. I get it. You're attractive. Apparently, you're Canadian French. You're not even a real French. So, I mean, you already dropped down on the list of French people here. I thought you were a real French, but it is what it is. I don't need to listen to you talk about her accent, okay? I'm skipping forward a little bit just so we can get past you talking about how sexy your accent is. Because yes, it is sexy.
I'm not trying to do like, you know, any moral of the story here. I'm just defending myself because he's saying like, you know, I've been doing false DMCA claims on his piracy website. Come on, dude.
Piracy website.
If people don't mind having their content there, like, that's fine. But like, he's like talking for every single artist. But I think he forgot that people who publish on his website, they are not artists. They are users.
I think that is a distinction that isn't super important here because there could be artists obviously posting there. You need to be very specific. If the fan art is getting wrapped up in that, I think it's primarily because they're being tagged with Patreon and everything like that. I think there's a lot more to the story. And again, I'm saying what my logical thought process is going on here because something just isn't making much sense, and I don't think we're getting the whole story from one side that is trying to say that, no, this is 100% happening and she's a bad person. I think there's things going on that... God damn it. Cloud, I'm going to need you to go to Rule 34.
They're users. And those users didn't ask the consent of those artists to have their art published there.
So how did...
To be fair, they should have asked, and only after the fact they're getting permission to have it up there, so you should have asked first. That is a factor to be played here, but I need a fast facts for legal mindset. Let's go. Porno edition. Porno edition.
How does the safe harbor thing work? So the safe harbor thing
I could actually explain this. Safe harbor is essentially you're just waiting for it to time out.
works because it's users that are uploading the content. Is that it?
I think the safe harbor is just a timeline. You might be the enabler of Clarmy. Shut up, Static. Why are you going there, Cloud? Because this is all about Rule 34. And I need some evidence.
Ordered or not. Like, I think he really do have, like, bad faith. He's just completely blind about, like, you know, the shit that is being published on his website because he doesn't even moderate what people publish there.
We're gonna listen. I know some shit that goes on in Rule 34. They don't moderate that shit. They don't.
No, they kind of just take actions after they receive a complaint. So as long as you don't get a complaint, it stays up. As long as
Weasel says, Cloud, don't do it. He's trying to give you carpal tunnel so you're easier to subdue on the island. Listen, we're not bringing back the island right now. But it would be a whole lot easier. Shit, I hit space again. It would be easier to take him down on the island once he has carpal tunnel.
with DMCA takedowns, it remains a safe harbor.
Quite literally, me again saying, Cloud, go to Rule 34. That's more than dropping the box of porn on the Porn Addict's lap. That is me dropping the box of porn direct, like, that's me throwing that porn addict into, like, a porn museum and say, have fun, do whatever the fuck you want. That's me actively causing harm on somebody right there. I should have thought that through a little bit more. But who else is going to go to the Rule 34 to help me out with this? Nobody. Cloud, have fun.
Okay.
I don't want to lose my time on that because it's just fucking useless. I said what I had to say. Funny thing, I found out a few drawings I made in there too. Oh, okay, Tristanax, did they contacted you to ask if you wanted your art to be on the website? What did you say? It's on Twitter. I just wanted to defend myself about the fact he said, like, you know, I'm falsely, like, you know, claiming art that I don't own. No, I only went for fancy posts that I own and the commissioned art. If there's anything else that have been taken down, then it means, like, you know, you have to talk with the people that took down all of this that I didn't ask, because I never went and said remove every single fan art, because no.
See, she's saying that she never asked to have them remove every single fan art. And she's saying, oh, you need to talk to them because I didn't ask for this.
I think, well, that's the same thing that the moderator said. You need to go speak to the DMCA team. You need to go speak to the DMCA people. I think the DMCA company, the company that's doing all the protection here, the Cam Girl Protector app, I think things are probably tagged wrong, and they're grabbing a bunch of shit thinking that it's Fansly or Patreon or something like that, and they're taking it down. Which that might be your own website's fault, not her fault. I have no evidence to back up my claim here. That's part of the thing here. There could be evidence to disprove what I'm saying. The problem is nobody's giving out that level of evidence, and we have a bunch of people making a bunch of accusations. And to be quite fair here, the people backing up the Rule 34 guy, I don't really like. Yeah, it might be a bad idea, but I kind of put more faith in Saruei here. Saruei. Cloud, it's right here. Saruei. I'm probably butchering her name. She's French.
And there's still plenty of fan art on his website of me that are still up there that I haven't claimed. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I feel like it's that company that's messing it up then.
I think this dude is actually thinking his website is like Pixiv, DeviantArt. I mean, I'm not going to compare Pixiv and DeviantArt because DeviantArt is a fucking shithole now. But he's comparing maybe himself to Pixiv or ArtStation. His website is just a dump of art published by anyone who online.
You know, I'm kind of just spitballing here, but I'm wondering if this company is used to working with VTubers, because it might be that usually if they work with cam girls, right, then basically every image or video of them that's found.
Cloud, I'm not able to spell it. I've had to copy paste it a few times right now. I'm not. It's right here in the corner. It's right there for you. I do think Rima's saying a good point here. Just I'm gonna back up just so we can get her whole point, because I do think she has a decent point. She might not be Saruei, probably butchering it again. Might not be using a site that is worked with. Saruei. I can't fucking say it, Static. Shut up. Anyways, she might be working with a company that's not used to working with VTubers, so that could be part of it. Again, it could be tagged the images could literally be tagged Fansly, Patreon, something like that. She's telling them, hey, take down the Fansly content or this content or that content. And because of that, that's why they're taking down this particular content. That could legitimately be the reason that this is going on. I don't know.
That usually, if they work with cam girls, right, then basically every image or video of them that's found on the internet is technically paywalled content. So maybe they thought that every image of Saruei is paywall. I don't know.
I think it's the tags. I think it's literally the tags. I think that's what's flipping them up, and that might be Rule 34's fault.
I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. It might be a theory. I'm ratting.
Yeah, they don't review people's posts. They are like, okay, let's allow anyone to publish anything there. I even had my cosplay there. I had my motherfucking cosplay.
Dude, her cosplays are hot.
I don't know what her cosplays look like. I kind of want to see it now.
On Denboru, on Jelboru, on Rule 44, it's my cosplay. It's pictures. They are not like drawings. Even if it's overly painted on top. Anyway. I'm not here to trash talk the website or the dude or.
Cloud DM'd me. Give me a second. I'm scared. Guys, I'm scared. Super scared. I'm clicking. Yeah, I've seen this. This is what you see. So, okay. He did go there. I'm opening up the image real quick. So we can't corroborate because I want to see some of the images and what they're tagged. But apparently this is what we're seeing right now, which the This is also on X. If you want to leave a comment, Saruei use of DMCA to remove fan art. This document showcases how Saruei continues to censor and remove fan art. Oh, okay, yeah. This is in a Google Docie, so I've already seen this. I can bring it up a little bit later, but like I need to see what all the tags are. If a lot of it says Fansly or stuff, I think that's what's going on here, and if so, that's Rule 34's fault for not properly moderating their site.
Owning it. I'm just like, just pointing out, like, what's up there. It's a piracy website, and you cannot just, like, blame me for wanting to protect, like, what I own. I'm not going after the fan arts of people on Twitter, on DeviantArt, on ArtStation again. I love people.
See, I feel like because she said that, she's just like, why would I go after fan art? If I went after fan art, I would have to go after every fan art on DeviantArt, Pixiv, and all of that. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm gonna say I think it's the campsite, and I think it has to do with tags. I don't know how many times I could probably reiterate that over and over again. I think that's what's happening here. And one of the other reasons I want to bring this up, I don't want to bring up the V-tweeters that I'm always fucking bitching about. I don't. That's for tomorrow. But the reason I'm really like trying to hammer that point home is I don't really see people bringing that point up. Like, if these images are tagged a very specific way, like how Saruei, probably butchering your name again, shut up. If it's how she's saying it to be true, and even when I read the mod thing, it sounds to be accurate, these images are getting tagged wrong. So the team that's doing all the DMCAing is probably wrapping it up by accident, but because it's tagged wrong, they don't know. I feel like this is a Rule 34 problem. It just brings you to that page, Cloud. Well, thank you for trying. Now go have fun with the rest of Rule 34.
Arts.
She said again?
Sorry.
Let's go back.
I'm not here to, like, trash talk the website or the dude owning it. I'm just like, just pointing out, like, what's up there. It's a piracy website, and you cannot just, like, blame me for wanting to protect, like, what I own. I'm not going after the fan arts of people on Twitter, on DeviantArt, on ArtStation again.
Again.
I think when she says Outstation, I think that's a fuck up of the words. I think maybe she's talking about going up against Outstation again, or she might have had an issue in the past. I think that's what's going on there. I don't think it's actually like fan art itself. I think that's what's going on here. Again, probably a similar situation before.
What do you mean
I love
again?
People's art. I retweet people's art. Jesus Christ, dude.
My problem with this is, sure, she's not going after it personally, but the company she hired to represent her is. Yes, and the company, if this is true, of course, the company is like making her have a huge optic problem. Like, this looks really bad, and she needs to scold them. I would be so.
I agree. It's her company's. It's that company's fault. That's what I think it is. I 100% think it's the company's fault here. At the same time, I think they're probably going off of this very specific thing, and I do think Rule 34 might be tagging it all wrong. It's apparently not even just Rule 34. This is hitting Damboro and Gelburo too. I don't even know those websites, but they haven't said anything. I think there's something going on right here, and I think it might be because of the company. It might be because things are getting tagged wrong. So it's all sorts of issues are going on, but I don't think it's her herself that is doing this, and I think calling her a DMCA person is probably wrong. But hey, I mean, again, I'm using my brain power here, and I know that's very bad to do nowadays in 2025. Using a functioning brain is probably a problem. I should probably just destroy the rest of my brain cells with hard liquor.
So pissed.
Yar! Me a pirate! Or I plunder and steal on the internet. I am so cool and badass because I refuse to pay for stuff. Yar!
I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say. This is gonna be an uploaded video. I'm gonna continue going on.
Thank you very much, Snompert. I know there's nothing that will stop, like, piracy websites. What I don't like is the fact, like, this dude brought my name publicly. It was a call for war. I never asked for this. I was just defending myself. He's the one who started, like, making a Twitter post about me. I would have said fucking nothing. Fuck, my arm again, broken. Great. Yeah, even like, mention my name on his post.
I mean, he did more than mention you. He added you. He called you out publicly. Like, that's a serious thing, and he's been calling out a lot of people publicly. I have taken some looks, and again, I'd love to pull up his Twitter account, but it's Rule 34.
Like, he wanted my attention. And so, like, it's not the the content I've been trying to remove from his website, like content I own again, now the fan arts. It's been over a year that he received, like, DMCA claim. Over a fucking year. And even still up to today, I still find my fancy content there because users post it and they are not, like, being monitored. I'm telling you, like, in a week or in a month, you'll find more fancy content that I own on their website, unless, like, they remove entirely the Saruei tag.
He said he would remove everything within 48 hours. I'm surprised by that. Oh, he removes it, but it shows up again 2 weeks later. God damn. Yeah.
So what's the point of if he's removing it? What's the remedy there? Think about that one. Okay, if he keeps removing it himself, but it keeps just popping back up, what is the remedy? Copywriting? That's the only remedy. Like, you need to fix that. That you need to have a system in place to make sure this content doesn't get uploaded if it is behind a paywall. You need to fix that on your own end. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and just dog Rule 34 on all this. Again, the company that Saruei hired, I think they're also to blame in this situation. But let's not mince words. Let's not try to act like, hey, there's other people at fault here and it's all her fault and blah, 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 blah. Like, there's other things going on here. And when you start looking at everything, I do think Rule 34 has some part to play in this. You need to do a whole lot better monitoring your site, monitoring your system, making sure that what they are uploading isn't coming from the paid wall content. If you don't want this to happen, you need to do that modicum of work. Make sure things are getting tagged correctly. I'm sorry, that's just the case here. I have to do that on fucking YouTube. I have to be careful about all that shit on YouTube. Why do you get away with it? Why do you not have to deal with it? Yeah, I don't want to sit here and, like, not say, hey, don't like say that Saruei's completely out of the woods here. Okay, because I do have to say, come on. If there's other art getting fucking yeeted, you do need to take account in this. If you're hearing that there's issues here, go to the people that are doing the DMCAing for you and discuss with them, what are they actually taking down? How is this working out? Is this actually my work? Or is this somebody else's work? You also do need to play a part in this. But it doesn't feel like anybody wants to have that kind of conversation. They just want to do the, well, no, I'm right. You're right. I'm wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody's on either Saruei's side or they're on Rule 34's side. And it's not like, my whole thing just lagged out there. It could legitimately just be a massive miscommunication. And that's practically it. That's probably what the case is. It's a massive miscommunication.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a whack-a-mole game. Yeah, she said the entirety of Saruei tag.
Telling you. He act like, it's the first time I come here. It's been over a year. I'm paying, like, a DMCA team. I'm losing money to get content removed from his website.
No, she didn't admit anything. The premise was always that she was asking for him to remove premium content from his website. He's saying she's trying to DMCA fan arts as well on top of the premium content, and she's saying, no, I never asked for this. I'm not asking to remove the fan art stuff. Now,
and I agree with that. I feel like that's pretty cut and dry. Seriously, that sounds cut and dry in the grand scheme of things. I'm not trying to take out fan art. You're accusing me of trying to take down fan art. All I'm trying to do is take down my content that keeps getting uploaded over and over and over again. It feels like a game of fucking chicken, but where some of the sides are dumb. I'm just being honest. It feels like some sides are really retarded in all this.
Obviously, in his email, he's showcasing links that are fan arts. So there's something going on in that chain between these three parties. That's like a huge miscommunication or lies.
Like, he's literally doing this for attention at this rate. That's why I'm not bringing anything up anymore. I'm not answering to, like, all the things he said because, like, He seemed like, you know, to have waited for me to react. And he was like, oh, now that you have a lot of attraction, I'm going to answer. No, tough time. I'm not going to answer to any of, like, you know, his claims anymore. I said what I had to say. If you have anything to do, you can go to the DMCA team. That's all. The irony is that the guy that runs the entire site can't...
Also, like, in his...
I think that's pretty much it too. Here, I'll let Rima finish her final point, but I'll skim Saruei's thing real fast just to see. I don't think she's brought this point up again since her actual response. She's like been very away from it. So I think she only made her comment, walked away, and the other guy is trying to make a big deal out of it, along with V-tweeters trying to make a big deal out of it. And I think, again, there's probably conversations that need to be happening behind the scenes that nobody wants to be having.
Anything to do, you can go to the DMCA team. That's all. The irony is that the guy that runs the entire site can't...
Also, like, in his reply to her, he said, oh, I'm glad this is finally getting traction. So I think she kind of told herself, well, shit, it looks like this guy wants clout, so I'm not going to respond to him anymore. And if he needs to talk, he has to talk to the DMCA team. But the
100% he wants clout. Again, the V-tweeters that I despise the most are constantly talking about this, along with some other drama. It's nonsense. And again, it's because those particular V-tweeters that I despise with a blazing passion are bringing it up over and over again. I'm over here like, I think I'm time to start using my brain noodle because they obviously don't. So
MCA team hasn't been really communicative because they keep just copy pasting the same fucking text.
Get enough post and not clarity to know the collab was a dumb idea. It's whatever. What it is just like, you know, stating the obvious. That's all. Oh, that's all. Now,
Wait.
That's all. We can move on. There's only like, you know, to like, you know, steer this thing up. I'm going to still like, you know, claim any fancy post I can find online. And that's all. It's just what it is. It would be like, you know, with any other license anyway.
And I think that's pretty much it. But she ends up saying it would be like with any other license. That's the end of the clip there. I'll post Rima's whole video in chat. I went over very similar things to this. And I'll quickly skim Saruei's thing just to double check. Has she brought up any other comments on this particular topic? Or has she practically just left it be? Thank God I'm not scrolling through this live on stream right now. Holy lordy. Oh, I didn't notice this. By the way, apparently Saruei was actually shown up in Shiloh's video. I didn't know that one. That's actually kind of cool. But when I scroll through this, yeah, I'm not seeing anything on this particular topic outside of that initial comment. Everything else is on different topics. Some about Collective Shout, some about MasterCard, some about obviously Shiloh. There's other things that she's talking about here. If I go into her replies, responding to Bao, she Puchan, V cards, and again, I have to do this behind this particular look. Yep. Thank God I did that. Right as I start mentioning it, yep, there's the porn. Yeah, so there's reasons I have to do this, but she hasn't brought it up again. But I've seen this dude, you know, Slayer Duck. I've seen him in multiple different people's comments, multiple different individuals talking about it over and over again and how this is a massive issue. And I'm like, I think there's bigger conversation. I think there's a multi-layered conversation here that nobody's wanting to have right now. And I literally just brought it up again. Meta tags designed so that the user knows. I think, holy shit, he brought up, actually this, I didn't realize this. I was scrolling through that guy's thing real quick. Slayer Duck actually, you know my whole thing about the tags? Well, somebody goes like, dude, Y'all literally have the art labeled Fansly because it's just redistribution of the artwork she's actually sells on Fansly. Prawn Stars DMCA illegal redistribution if they're paid content all the time. And he does respond to this, and this is something I've been bringing up a lot of on this actual stream video, whatever you want to call it. This seems to be a commonly misunderstood thing. Those tags, such as Fansly and Patreon, are meta tags designed so that the user knows the source link points to a site where they can purchase or pay for content. Normally, they're used when one free image from a set is uploaded and the source links to the paid site where you can purchase or subscribe to view more. They are not intended for actual paid art. Those can be flagged for deletion, or takedown requests can be submitted to DMCA. What it sounds like, I'm not even gonna try to like. I literally think I just figured this shit out. By the way, I do need to push this out. I think what's happening is pretty self-explanatory. They're taking down things that say, "Hey, Patreon or Fansly." Doesn't matter what's going on there. I think that's pretty much the reality there, and I think that's what's happening. And you're mad because your site isn't monitoring this stuff properly, and instead of going through their own 24-hour that you keep posting over and over again about this 24-hour response that even she has denied is a case, you're going down this path and trying to shame her when she kind of just left it. If you have a problem, take it up with the DMCA team. So I think that's what's actually going on. I think it's a whole lot easier than what people are trying to give it credit for. And I'm more shocked that nobody's actually figuring this shit out. What is this? Here. But I think that's how that is going right now. But hey, I'll bring this back when there's more updates to it, if there's something big or something like that. But in the meantime, that's kind of where it's at. I think there's a lot of stupid people just being stupid.